What if the secret to becoming a top student isn't about doing more, but actually about doing less? It's about quitting the habits that, let's be honest, we all think are helpful, but are really just holding us back. So let's dive into this kind of counterintuitive path to getting straight A's. And this quote right here, this is the whole idea in a nutshell. We're talking about a transformation from the bottom of the class to the very top. And it wasn't a lucky break. It wasn't some stroke of genius. It was a simple, conscious decision to just stop doing 5 specific things. And today, we're going to break down exactly what those were. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the backstory. Then we're going to walk through 4 super common study traps, these things that feel really productive, but trust me, they're not. And then we'll get to the real final exam, which isn't about what you know, it's about what you're willing to do with it. So picture this. Our source for this started out way down at the bottom of the class, and they were doing everything you're supposed to do, right? Taking super detailed notes, reading a bunch of different books, grinding out problem after problem. They were always busy, but they weren't learning. And the really shocking part, the very methods they thought were helping were the exact things they had to quit. Okay, first up is the trap that pretty much everyone falls into. You know the drill. You spend hours meticulously recopying your notes thinking, yeah, the more I write this, the more it'll stick. But it's just an illusion of progress. It feels good, but it's not actually doing anything. So instead of that passive habit of just copying, the fix is something called active recall. It's a total game changer. Instead of just letting information flow into your brain, you have to actively and forcefully pull it out. It's that little bit of struggle, that effort to remember, that actually forges the strong memories you need. And here's why it works so well. Active recall is literally practicing for the test. Think about it. In an exam, the textbook isn't there. You can't just copy the answers. You have to retrieve everything from your own memory. So why on earth wouldn't you train that exact skill while you're studying? And here's how you actually do it. It's so simple, it's brilliant. You read a chapter, then you physically close the book, put it away so you can't cheat. Then you just write. On a blank sheet of paper, you write down everything you can possibly remember. This method instantly shows you what you know, and way more importantly, what you don't know. It's tough at first, for sure, but it is so incredibly effective. All right, on to trap number 2. This is the idea that if one textbook is good, then obviously reading 3 or 4 or even 6 different ones must be better, right? You're covering all your bases, getting different perspectives, but what you're actually doing is just getting yourself lost in a maze. Just look at the difference here. When you're jumping between 6 different books, your brain never gets a chance to build a solid, coherent map of the subject. It's just a jumble of disconnected facts. But if you read the same book 6 times, you build this deep, organized structure in your head that you can navigate with your eyes closed. I absolutely love this analogy. Mastering one book, that's like driving the same route home every single day. Eventually, you know it by heart. You don't even think about the turns. But using 6 different books is like trying to learn 6 totally different routes all at once. You're always going to need to check the map. And on exam day, you don't get a map. Okay, this next one might be the most controversial. We're all told constantly, do more practice problems, do more practice problems. But here's the thing. Jumping into them without a solid foundation is actually a recipe for disaster. You just end up practicing your mistakes over and over again. So the slow, inefficient way is to just do problems, get them wrong, and then try to learn from your corrections one by one. It takes forever. The effective method is to get a solid grasp of the concepts first, even just a quick review, and then use the problems to find the little gaps in what you already know. And that's the real purpose of practice problems. They are a diagnostic tool. It's like going to the doctor for a checkup. You don't go to the doctor to get healthy. You go to find out what's wrong so you know what you need to fix. Use practice problems to diagnose your weak spots, then go back to that one textbook you've mastered to fix them. Oh man, we have all been here. You've been studying for an hour, you feel totally drained, and you think, okay, I need a break. And what do? You pick up your phone and start scrolling. And sure, you feel a little better for a minute, but when you go back to studying, your brain just feels like mush. That's what we call fake rest. See, scrolling your phone is like a painkiller. It gives you this quick little dopamine hit that distracts you from how tired you are. But it doesn't solve the problem. Your brain is still processing tons of information. But real rest, like a short power nap, actually lets your brain clear out the junk and genuinely recharge. I mean, this chart says it all, right? The mental energy you get back from a 20-minute power nap just blows away what you get from 20 minutes on your phone. It's not even close. And the source actually discovered this by accident after falling asleep in the library and waking up feeling unbelievably sharp and focused. So seriously, be brave. Put your head down on a desk in the library for 15 minutes. Yeah, it might feel a little weird at first, but the results are so worth it. And hey, here's a little bonus tip. Try listening to some focus music or specific sound frequencies right after you wake up to get straight back into the zone. So there you have it. We've covered the 4 traps and the effective habits you can use to replace them. But just learning about all these techniques, that's not the real test. The real final exam is having the courage to actually use them. And this right here is the absolute truth. It is scary to abandon the study habits you've been using your whole life, even when you know they're not really working. They feel safe, they feel familiar. The real challenge is just overcoming that comfort, that fear of trying something new. But you know what? The fact that you are still here, that you've watched all the way to this point, it means you're already different. It means you are serious about making a change. And honestly, that's the biggest step right there. So that brings us to the final question. This isn't just a bunch of information, it's a real opportunity. You now know 4 bad habits to quit and 4 powerful ones to replace them with. The choice is yours. What are you going to do with it?